You are listening to the Atlanta Real Estate Forum radio show, all about real estate edition, shining a light on the movers and shakers in the real estate industry, the home builders, developers, realtors, and suppliers making it all happen. And now, here are today's hosts.
Good morning and welcome back to the All About Real Estate edition. I am your host, Todd Schnick, joined by my co-host and friend, Carol Morgan. Before we kick things off, however, we would like to thank New American Funding for being our 2020 show sponsor, our 10th year on the air. It's going to be a great finish to the year with them, and it has been fun having them as our partner for 2020. Carol, this is going to be a cool conversation, cool company, cool products.
Yeah, absolutely. We are joined in studio today by Tucker Donnelly. He is a regional account manager for Atlanta for James Hardie Building Products. And I'm sitting in a house that's sided with James Hardie Building Products. And I guess I'm just a great referral source because our house, this house is 17. And
there you go.
It's been painted, I don't know, it might have been painted twice, but it's kind of interesting. I'm looking forward to taking a deep dive into this because, of course, being 17 years old, you guys have come up with a lot of products since this house was built. So as I've replaced fascia and soffit and corner boards and things that James Hardie didn't make way back in the day, I've replaced those with James Hardie. Bye-bye wood. Hello, James Hardie. So welcome to the show, Tucker.
Thanks for having me. It's going to be a pleasure and a great opportunity.
Yeah, well, Tucker, appreciate you making time to join us. I know you're awfully busy these days, so grateful for the time. Before we kick off our conversation around James Hardie, take a second or two and tell us a bit about you and your background.
Sure. So I'm coming up on my fourth year with James Hardie right now. I started off working primarily with some of our custom and semi-custom builders in the metro Atlanta area for my first couple of years. In the past couple of years, I've kind of transitioned to focusing more on our production national builders and Atlanta and Georgia market as a whole.
Well, for, I guess, a little bit of a deep dive for some of our listeners who might not be familiar with James Hardie Building Products, tell us about the company.
Sure. So James Hardie Building Products is a leader in fiber cement technology. Our products are installed on over 8 million homes across North America from coast to coast. And those are all supported by 11 manufacturing facilities across the U.S.
Did you say 8 million homes?
Yes, sir. 8 million homes.
That's pretty impressive.
A lot of houses.
And Carol was pretty much said all that needed to be said when her home of 17 years is still in good shape. We probably could have wrapped the conversation after that statement. So, with that said, why should shoppers look for homes that are sided by James Hardie?
Sure. So James Hardie is a fiber cement product. So what that means is that is with Portland cement, water, sand, and cellulose fibers or wood fibers, along with a special blend of herbs and spices that we engineer specifically for our climate here in the South. So we don't go with a one-size-fits-all where if you want to install a piece of siding in Denver, or if you want to have a piece of siding in Atlanta, Georgia, those two climates and regions are very different. So we actually engineer our product with essentially a Hardie's own system. And so you have an HC5 system and an HC10 system. That 10 system is specifically for the southern climates. So our product's made to stand up for Atlanta weather. So hot, humid conditions, lots of sun, pests like carpenter bees and woodpeckers. So it's engineered specifically to perform in our climate here. So you get a product that can survive the elements here, along with a 30-year non-prorated warranty. The nice thing about a 30-year non-prorated warranty is another thing that typically comes in 30-year increments are your mortgages. So if you get a house, you don't have to worry about the exterior of your home for the 30-year duration of your mortgage as well.
So I didn't realize this. So I live in Chicago. So you're saying that I would have a different product here because it would be engineered differently to deal with the winters than what Carol has in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. So there you're having to deal with a lot of freeze-thaw cycles. So we specifically manufacture it to perform in that type of climate.
So that's why you're in 8 million homes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I can attest that any problem I've had with my building envelope has not been related to James Hardie. It's been related to products that have, things to do with windows or wood. So, it's held up very well. And this house sits out in the middle of acreage and literally bakes on four sides.
Mhm.
So, as you said, in the hot Atlanta, humid heat and wild weather we have here. But, what are some of your other, obviously your siding's incredibly popular, and I know it's on a lot of houses in the Atlanta market. What are some of the other popular products that builders are using here in Atlanta?
Yeah, so everyone knows Hardy Plank. It's kind of the bread and butter of our company, but we also have our Hardy Panel. So 4x8, 9, and 10 sheets of panel to encompass a home. So if you're looking for like a board and batten style, or we even have you'll see a lot more modern styles. So you'll have a panel with the channel system. So you have Hardy Panel to use with that. We have our Hardy Trim. So that way you don't have to worry about your corner boards, your fascia, your freeze boards. That way when you're building your house or residing your house, the entire exterior envelope of your home is the same product with the same maintenance cycle, and you don't have to worry about it as much. So it's there's quite a few different products. We have our Hardy Soffit as well, and then we have an array of sub products within Hardy Plank. We have a design series. We have our Aspire collection, which is kind of our higher end product. So we take our regular Hardy Plank. It's twice as thick. So you go from a 5/16 board to a 5/8 board, which gives you much deeper shadow lines, which provides a lot of contrast on a home. And then recently, we've been able to send those through an extrusion machine to make, thanks to probably Chip and Joanna Gaines, a lot of V-groove, bevel channel, and square channel products, like my wife has started to put all throughout our house.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is that more of an aesthetic thing than a structural? But it sounds like when you said Chip and Joanna Gaines, that kind of answers my question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's a trend that's been, I'd say, moving full steam ahead over the past few years.
Got it. Well, the siding and the trim do come in a bunch of primary colors. Do you ever need to paint any of this stuff?
Yeah. So our Color Plus technology essentially is an industrial coating. So to kind of put it simply, if anyone's ever been to Krispy Kreme, you see their donut going down the conveyor belt, and there's a cascade of the frosting, icing,
Magical goodness.
Yep.
Say now I'm hungry.
Yep. So we treat our boards the same. So you have our boards; it's all done in the same manufacturing facility. They go through an industrial coating machine that puts a uniform coat across the board, and it goes through 2 more times to make sure it gets every outward facing and edges of the board. And so you end up with a product that comes with a 15-year color warranty that protects against peeling, cracking, and chipping. And what that does is it saves yourself normally 1 to 2 paint cycles from having to paint your home.
That's cool. Yeah, again, I think our Hardie is some of the original on this house. I think it came in gray.
Yep.
End of discussion. So
yeah. We've expanded that a little bit from just gray or a few colors to now we're at the point where we have up to 700 custom colors.
Wow.
So you have a massive fan deck of colors to choose from that kind of can fit just about anyone's design aesthetic that are made to order. So say you're looking for a random obscure color, we're able to make it specifically for you. So your order gets placed in. We'll make 312 pieces of 8 1/4 lap siding for you, along with what other ancillary products you want. So 12 pieces of corner boards, a bunch of roof line, your soffits. So it's made specifically per order. So custom made essentially.
That's phenomenal. So I guess I have to ask a follow-up question to that, and then I'll go ahead and ask my next question. So is it expensive to custom order it, or does it add to the price?
Yeah, so it does add to the price, but it's not as expensive as someone would think. Because when you take into account the fact that if you're just to buy regular Hardie, you're going to have to paint it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're probably going to have to paint it again, depending on the paint,
Right.
in 5 to 7 years. And then 5 to 7 years after that, that you end up in the grand scheme of things, it's a long-term investment. So you end up saving money on the back end, something you have to worry about less. And when you think about it, when you're having a product that's finished in a factory versus something that's being applied paint, you're going to just have a much better quality when something is under perfect conditions. It's like having your car, you much rather have it painted in the facility than having it in your own yard.
Yeah, makes sense.
New American Funding is committed to delivering home loans on time while providing 5-star service. Their 14 business day close guarantee and fully underwritten pre-approval gives you an unbeatable 1-2 punch impossible for sellers to ignore. For more information on New American Funding, call 678-898-3540. That's 678-898-3540.
So what type of maintenance do James Hardie products need?
So it's a minimal maintenance. So typically about maybe once a year or so, you can simply take a hose and a soft cloth and just simply do a soft wash of your home and the siding, and that'll pretty much do it. So it's just that, along with if you have our prime product that you painted, just maintaining a regular paint cycle for the product as well.
All right. Well, I guess it's not a surprise that the maintenance conversation was really short. That's impressive. So, all right. Well, as we talk, we're still in the throes of this pandemic. Talk about how the pandemic and COVID and coronavirus, all this stuff. How's that impacting how you guys are going to market?
So, I think everyone in kind of just the construction and home building industry, no one had any idea what it was going to do, if it was going to send us into a free fall or what. Surprisingly, the Atlanta markets maintained a pretty strong consistency and shown, I would say, a little bit of growth and some perseverance through this time. So we're still staying relatively busy. It's a lot more like you see right now, Zoom meetings and meetings with our customers to make sure we're meeting their demands, meeting our installers and builders on job sites, meaning safe, socially distanced. One of the biggest platforms for James Hardie, a foundation of our company, is zero harm. So they take that very seriously. So they make sure all of us are outfitted with the proper recommended safety protocols so that when we go out into the field and we're meeting with builders, we're adhering to them and have everything we need for both the employees of James Hardie as well as our customers to be safe.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So I know you work with a lot of builders. I just have to ask, do you have a preferred builders program, or how do you partner with builders?
Yeah, so we have incentive programs with builders that we're able to set up for each builder depending on their needs and demands, along with a Contractors Alliance program that allows contractors to essentially partner with James Hardie to help grow their business through lead generation and marketing from a local and a corporate standpoint.
Sounds good. You've talked about a couple of the popular decisions and products at the moment. Any other trends that you can bring to our attention that we should be aware about?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest ones that you're seeing pop up across Metro Atlanta as a whole is just really the modern farmhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a lot of board and batten on houses now, lots of black accents, boards, window casings, your roof line. And so that's one of the biggest trends we've seen. And with that, when you're having dark colored trends, as you can imagine, dark colors absorb more light energy. So if you're having a rottable product like wood that's painted dark, you're going to have a product that's going to fail and rot much quicker. So having a Hardie product that's non-rottable, that has a proprietary primer that paint can mechanically fasten to, will allow your house to look as good as it does on day one and into the duration of the home.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And the modern farmhouse trend is just hot. We're seeing it pretty much, at least this entire East Coast. It's just hot on. So I think we're going to continue to see that. And you think about that, black paint, it also fades if it's not a good quality paint or a good quality, product. So
exactly. That's a big thing. And one of the other things along with modern farmhouses, again, we're going to bring up Chip and Joanna Gaines. You're seeing a lot of that shiplap exterior of houses too. So now we have a product that you have a non-rottable product to put on the exterior of your home that you can run vertically or horizontally in porch ceilings and soffits to kind of add a little bit of a different design aesthetic to your home compared to some of the other homes that you see that are just typical board and batten or typical lap siding. So it allows, Hardie now has a larger product portfolio for our customers to use to kind of create the design in the home that they want.
Great stuff. Well, Tucker, I want to be a sales guy for you. That must be a pretty easy job, going to market with this brilliant product. That's great stuff. We're about out of time, Tucker. So before we let you go, should anyone need to connect with you or needs to learn more about James Hardie Building Products, where do they go?
Yeah. So you can go to our website, jameshardie.com. If you're looking to connect with someone to reside your home, there's a link at the very top to find a contractor close to you. That'll pair you up with a few contractors that can come out and provide some quotes. We have at jameshardie.com on the website as well a link for pros. So for architects, for builders, for people installing the product, so they can find the best practices and what they need to do in the technical documents. Along with, we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. We have a YouTube channel where you can find some best practice as well. And you can find us on LinkedIn as well.
Tucker Donnelly, a regional account manager for Atlanta for James Hardie Building Products. Tucker, it was a great pleasure to have you. Thanks again for stopping by and joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that wraps this week's All About Real Estate edition. On behalf of our show sponsor, New American Funding, my co-host, Carol Morgan, I am Todd Schnick. That's all the time that we have for today. Thank you for tuning in and listening, and we'll look forward to seeing you again right here next week. We'll see you then.
Atlanta Real Estate Forum Radio is made possible by Denim Marketing, the publisher of Atlanta Real Estate Forum, Atlanta's favorite source for real estate and home building news. Denim Marketing is a comfortable fit, like your favorite pair of jeans. Denim Marketing tailors marketing strategies to meet your specific needs and niche. Try them on for size. They will work to create a perfect fit for your company's marketing program. Call them at 770-383-3360 or send an email to info@denimmarketing.com. For more information on Atlanta Real Estate Forum Radio or to inquire about being a guest, contact info@atlantarealestateforum.com. Check out the radio show by visiting atlantarealestateforum.com or by listening to the show on your favorite podcast app. And if you enjoyed today's broadcast, we'd sure appreciate a rating and review on iTunes. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next time on Atlanta Real Estate Forum Radio.